and welcome to this week's edition of Coach's Corner. Joining us back at the desk is head coach Don Cheney Sr. Welcome back, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations. This team is coming off a good 27-14 victory over the... And compared to the game before against Somerset, this team looked very disciplined and very focused, which, a lot less penalties this time. Something that you guys improved on to, limit the amount of penalties and just to gain more discipline in general.
We went back to the drawing board and focused a lot more on how can we execute better offensively and defensively, and we put a good plan together and stuck to it and had some success.
Yep. So Alberto Mendoza had himself a pretty good game, throwing for over 130 yards and a score. He had a heavy dose in this offense compared to Andres Miares, who really only threw about 4 passes.
Right.
So what did you see that you saw that Mendoza you saw that he should get more of the snaps compared to Miares?
Well, technically it just was the hot hand. Alberto had the hot hand going into it and momentum, so we kind of rode him into it. No real difference. Not one guy did not play the other one. They both had a good, consistent week of practice, but Alberto just had the hot hand, and we just rode it in since the game got a little tight, and we needed to finish strong, and that's why we went with Alberto a little more.
Do you think Mendoza is, trying to take momentum and trying to become the full-time starters anytime soon?
Well, those guys are competing at a high level every day in practice, so they're good friends. So it's just friendly competition, and we'll continue to endorse that, and those guys they both will play every game.
Yep. So I think one of the players that we need to talk about from this game is Gabbage. He had himself an outstanding game. He basically lived in the backfield.
Right.
So going into this game, we knew what he was capable of, as a freshman, but putting up these numbers as a freshman is just absolutely outstanding. So now going forward and looking into the future, what are you looking forward in him?
Well, really, I'm just looking for him to keep developing. He has a tremendous upside, and we're just going to keep working hard and see if we can get the best out of him, bring the best to him, on and off the field. And I think his career will be pretty good.
Did you ever expect him to have such a high play performance?
We know he has big play potential. So every week he's improving. Every week he's getting better. He works very hard in practice. So the sky's the limit for him.
Now, looking back on the offense, we know that Alberto had a pretty good game. But I think the storyline of the offense here was our running backs, Kamani Alexander and Marcos Ruiz, both running for over 100 yards and Marcos Ruiz scoring 2 touchdowns. So what led you to think that Marcos Ruiz should be getting a lot more touches? Because this is the most amount of touches he's ever gotten, and he did a lot with them. So how did you see in him in practice, or that you saw we should be giving him the ball more?
Well, it wasn't a matter of should we give him the ball more. It was just more of he's a very explosive player, works very hard, and we just called his number and he cashed in, and he just is a tremendous young man. He's very patient. He has a great attitude. He supports the other backs, and it was just his time, and he shined.
Yes, he did. Indeed, he did. So one of the players that we had a lot of high expectations for was HAYDEN Puente. He's a great leader. He's a senior, and great respect from the other guys in the locker room. But after the first game, we really didn't see that he was as explosive. Some of that could be attributed to injury. But what have you seen that maybe kind of derailed it, and how do you think he can get back to form?
Well, technically, I don't think he derailed, and I think he's still a high-level player. I think he just got a little nicked up a little bit, but he's getting healthy, and I think he'll come and get in the mix and be a very strong contributor going forward. So I look forward to seeing him play a lot more.
He's a very powerful running back. We know that he has a lot of potential.
Absolutely.
Yep. So for this next game, we play Cardinal Newman, another opponent that we're just looking to win. So this game, we're 2-2. We're trying to get to 3-2 and above 500. How important do you think this game is to try and get more momentum that we had earlier on the season?
It's extremely important. We have to execute. We have to practice well so we can perform well on Friday night. I think our guys are excited right now. We have a little momentum going into the game. Practice is going well this week, so let's see. I think on Friday we should be able to pull it out.
And unfortunately, we saw a pretty big loss on the defensive side. Linebacker ZACK ACOSTA unfortunately hurt his hand and maybe sidelined for 2 weeks, and seeing how he recovers maybe for the rest of the season. So looking at a guy like him, from a loss of that kind of player, I mean, how do you think that impacts this team and this defense?
Tremendous. I mean, Zach is a great player. He's an outstanding linebacker. He contributes well during practice and in games. He's a great leader, motivator. So it'll be a loss, but we have a motto, next man up. So we're looking to see the next guy fill those shoes and perform at a high level.
Hopefully that next guy can help us win this next game.
Absolutely.
Right? Of course. Well, that concludes this episode of Coach's Corner. Big thanks to Coach Chaney again for joining us. My name is Adrian Carmona, and stay golden, Wolverines.